smoke out my nose, leaning on the console. I ain't seen no asphalt.
Whoa. Turn that back up.
There we go. There we go.
Don't rush it because we've been podcasting the fuck out of ourselves this week.
That's right. We got a Florida. This is straight up Florida music right here.
Dude, if there's a there's a music genre that would represent like muddy water Florida, it's definitely hip hop.
100%.
Oh yeah, hits the spot for sure.
100%.
It's amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
Another podcast. I'm excited. We got Sam on. Sam's weaseled his way into our business. Thing is my fault. We'll talk about it. I think I offered it to him.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah.
Well, you kind of you dangled it for sure.
Like, man, decisions.
I know. It's a good little weasel though.
You win some, you lose some. Eli's back to dope. He's got a dope hoodie on.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Sam, what's up, buddy?
Glad to be here.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know Sam, Sam's a realtor with us. Done a great job. We've talked about him before. You guys have heard about him when we've talked about the agent that was new to Florida, new to real estate, and new to YouTube. So you were new to Florida, less than a year. New to real estate, way less than a year. And then new to YouTube, you were using the living in Denver, living in Houston, living in Dallas, living in Portland concept that we all learned from 100%. Jesse and Jackson. And you met us on a podcast, reached out, and you started implementing. And we've talked a lot about that. We talked about that a lot at the event last night. Mm-hmm. For those of you that are listening, we had an event October 23rd. So about a week or two ago. Super good event. You talked a lot about that. But man, just to catch people up to speed on just since you've been on the last time.
Yeah.
Our main focus there,
mm-hmm.
By the way, Sam's very sophisticated today because I think he might have the highest downloaded episode.
He does. Yeah. Yeah. We've had some good people on too, but
now we're going to beat it.
Sam's was number one.
Maybe. I'm going to pay for a boost on the fucking post.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Eli can hear me.
I can hear you.
Can Sam hear me?
He can't hear you.
It'll be fun. Catch people up. So you did that, right? Like,
yep.
We've talked about your living in concept, living in Tampa. That's your channel. Implemented the living in concept, crushing deals, getting people into your business. Here's what's interesting. We've taught a lot of folks YouTube concept. We've taught a lot of folks real estate, et cetera, et cetera. You're one of the few. And for me, like, I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody. For Eli and I, it doesn't seem that crazy of a concept to implement people into your business at the right time and decentralize it to get your time back to then scale the next lane of the business, right? Yeah. And I think we're good at it, Eli. We're not the best at it though. Like, I remember you and I, and mainly you, like reaching out to Jesse and just talking about like, hey, when do we start having someone help?
Yeah.
And I felt like even for us, as decent as we are at it, even we were like a little late when we needed that person. But there is this dichotomy between companies or brands that grow too fast or just put people in too soon that just aren't quality and not trained, and you're just trying to delegate everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the people that just want to micromanage and always do it. There's like this balance of like that right in that moment of like, hey, we're starting to get, and I remember you and I, we went from like having one agent 8
yeah, dude.
In like a 90-day period. And we needed it. I remember you and I having discussions on it. But Sam, you're one of the few that's like focused on some of that. We've had conversations before when somebody wasn't a good fit.
Yeah.
And eyeballing that. And I remember a big conversation we had when I was talking about leverage. When that person was kind of like showing their cards a little bit, and I just reminded you where the leverage comes from.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that today too if there's some time. But talk to us about where you're at now, what you're looking at getting into, and just catch people up from what, maybe a year ago from the last time you were on?
I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Time flies with you kids.
I know.
Yeah, so Ben was still working with me then. He's back here in Colorado now. Started his own channel. Great. Happy for him. But that was a unique transition, kind of knowing he was on his way out, navigating how to find another person, not wanting to just get right back into production.
Sam's so polite. He's a great guy. No drama. Talk to me about when he was on his way out.
Yeah.
Because people don't say, hey, I'm on my way out in 90 days.
Right.
I'm going to work double hard to make sure this is great before I leave. Yeah. I do.
Yep.
That's how I've left stuff.
Sure.
You and I were having conversations of like feeling like we pinpointed when he was out, maybe even sooner than he realized he was out.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so he wanted to start his own channel, just competing. I mean, and I'm not super competitive with that kind of thing, but hey, we're going after the same business.
Yep.
Sure.
Hey, great, you should do that. But you just can't work with my clients anymore if you do that.
Of course.
right away. Everyone's coming back to me. No big deal.
Prior to that, it was like,
we think we want to move back to Colorado.
no, prior to that, it was like putting his feelers out of like, God, my wife's thinking of doing something with home ec as a channel versus them doing a living in concept, right?
Even prior to that, it was just kind of, he needed to make more money. So he was desperate to kind of get his own deals, get 100% of deals. And just, so the signs were there before that he needed to go do his own thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And like, I'm only bringing this up because we've had some folks that have worked with us before. And immediately they want to duplicate a model. It's like, hey, this doesn't happen overnight. Like, I know you're getting deals overnight for me because you're helping my channel.
Yep.
And I'm throwing you some clients to work with but this is an established channel.
Right.
Like, you're going to go start when it's not established and it's now competing, which is going to take it even longer. But you're eating off of mine. Cool. Like, do something different. Don't do the same thing. Like, wow, like it'd be no different than like when people are looking for business partners and they go get a duplicate of themselves. Yeah. Why? You already have that.
Yep.
So why not use a different tactic or a different focus within real estate to go grab business in addition to what he's helping you with? But it was just a great conversation on leadership. And I remember the first time you called me, can't remember exactly everything that I said, but I was like, hey man, that's done.
Yeah.
Like, that's over. And I said, anytime it goes further than this, here's what happens. You're going to have to offer more split. You're going to have to offer ownership. You're going to have to start offering things, because the second people start kind of letting you know they're putting their feelers out of like, oh, hey, we're kind of thinking of this. Oh, hey, it wouldn't be competition. Yeah. Just like the people that tell me like, oh, dude, I'd never talk shit about you, bro. Like, I'm just, no, you're the exact fucking guy that's probably talking shit about me.
Yeah.
By you prefacing that, right? Like, some people preface those things and they're putting their feelers out. It's okay. You want everybody to grow. You want them to do their thing. But you have to understand, it's like, once they start kind of committing to expanding, there's this phase of like, okay, I'm going to leave the nest now, maybe, right? And it's like, if they're super valuable and worth it, like, do I offer them ownership? Do I offer them a higher split? And if so, why? Sometimes we do that out of convenience, not because they're so great at what they do.
Yeah.
It's, well, shit, I can't lose him because I'm doing this stuff now. And if he leaves, I'm going to have to go back to do that again. And, well, now I got to show homes? Oh, God. I can't fucking show homes. That's how people think when they have to take a step back in their business if someone leaves. So they'll incentivize with ownership or bigger splits to keep it, not because that person's invaluable. It's more of a comfortable convenience factor. The problem is, like, it's just death by paper cuts, dude. It'll never be enough.
Yeah.
And then eventually that person will just subconsciously start to take the entire credit for why your business is successful in the first place.
For sure, yeah.
You and I talked about leverage there. You were also talking about maybe somebody else getting involved. And I said, hey, dude, this other person that you're talking about, they're exactly what that person needs. Because during this time of their transition or their thoughts about transition, what better than to just put someone else inside of the team for competition and just facing reality that, like, hey, man, you're replaceable.
Yeah.
You're appreciated, but you're also replaceable. And this gets into like...
Well, then I put in 3 people.
Yeah.
Let's see who sees the opportunity. If
100%.
anybody sees it and like approaches it with that like kind of intentionality, then I'm going to groom them.
And if you're not going to build your own thing, then you better find a way to be not replaceable.
Yeah.
There are some people that help us within our company where, like, I guess technically everybody's replaceable if we're going to go split hairs here. But there are some that find a way to like Mandy for us.
Yep, totally.
She's such a great team player.
Yeah.
She's so great at what she does. She's taken on the training that we've given her, plus her own skill set of just being great at what she does. Yeah, it'd be a bummer to lose her. We'd have to train somebody else. And like, technically she replaced. Yeah. But she's committed, man. She's in the culture. She's our people. She's with us. Like, and she's just great at what she does.
Yeah.
There's nobody else that's going to take that role from her. She has found a way to be irreplaceable in a sense by commitment, being coachable, being available. We've had to do stuff last minute. Yeah. And anytime like you're wanting to be a part of something, being available, committing, even if it inconveniences you because you understand the growth of a company and sometimes those things happen. A lot of times you'll see people that want to be committed to something because they see what you've built and they want something from what you've built.
Yeah.
But if it inconveniences them, oh, hey, sorry. And then like the second you do that, if I need, because like I'm not going to hit people up if I don't need it. But if you're a part of it and you're committed and then we've got something unexpected, but Eli and I are doing something and I throw you that opportunity, oh, hey, sorry, man. I'm like, hey, no problem. Yeah, but hey, I'll get you on the next one.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely, bro. And I'm already driving to just cover it. You'll
Yeah, yeah.
never get a fucking call from me ever again.
For sure.
Because it's like right there. It's like, hey, you want something from this that's already built, already established, already paying, but you're not willing to contribute anything to it because sometimes the only thing you can contribute when you're newer is just being that utility player that can be tagged in a moment's notice, regardless of what you got going on, to show you're committed to the team.
Right.
Totally.
Giving your time and attention and
What else can you give?
Interruptible, like that kind of thing.
Because a lot of times, like, well, you're not smarter than anybody here.
Yeah.
You're newer. You're not reinventing it. Like, it's that. It's like, hey, you're that great utility player that can just make a great catch on third down.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's interesting when you see people like not do that, right? Or you have people do it, but then they're in your company for a bit, and then they have this notion of like, what? Like the conversations at home with their significant other, right? Like,
Sure.
I could build it. It's like,
Totally.
maybe it came around when it was already built. So unfortunately, like you don't necessarily see everything that this takes. But sure. But at the same time, it's like you have a decision to make as an owner of like,
right.
and I remember, I think I was like, well, I was at the car dealership. Go figure. You and I were talking on the
And
phone.
I was sitting in my car outside of the gym. I like remember that.
Yeah, and I was at Mike Ward Lamborghini buying something dumb. Probably just got off the phone with Eli or FaceTiming him. Hey, look, it's a really good deal. Thank God for Eli. He's like, yeah, dude, it looks great, dude.
I'm the worst though. Yeah, not thank God for Eli. I'm like, awesome. Yeah.
Will and
Great.
Eli suck at cars, buddy. We just buy dumb shit. And but I just remember that because like when we talk about, coaching someone and like, hey, what's the financial value and like what's the ROI? And it's like there's going to be financial ROI. There has to be because it's business coaching. But these other like pivots and mindset pieces that you'll get from someone to understand like a leverage point like that, and like, okay, Sam's got a decision to make. What does that look like? If he gives up more to try to incentivize this guy to stay around, and then is that even the right decision? And it wasn't.
No.
And again, this isn't negative toward this gentleman at all.
Yeah.
It's just being open and honest and understanding like a strategy that goes behind something when it comes to how are you guys treating your employees or partnerships within real estate or lending or whatever you guys do. At some point, like your right-hand man, it could be forever. It could also show its face that way. And it's like, and all I've ever seen is like you start giving up ownership or splits and it's not the right person. They keep asking.
Yep.
And then eventually they'll start to take.
Yep.
And then what? Like it's super rare to just go giving somebody something. Like we gave you something.
Yeah.
I think Eli threw me an edible that morning.
Yeah.
And I was just feeling off and like I offered Sam some ownership of our
I bought a dog because I took mushrooms. That's like, yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's how we got our dog.
You
Yeah.
never told me that.
Yeah, Megan and Elijah, they've been asking for a dog since Elijah could talk, and Megan's been asking for
And
a
then
third
you're like,
one.
yeah.
The whole
let's
time
do
I
it.
was like, no. And then I took mushrooms at home one time, and
Walk me through that.
all of a sudden I felt like buying a dog. I was coming down from it and came back to the family, like, hey guys, dad's back, because they were at home the whole time. I was just like,
So hold on.
yeah.
Did you say yes to the dog because you felt guilty for being high and doing your thing and
No.
not being with the family?
No, I just,
Like you felt like you were cheating on him with your own time?
no, you're on mushrooms, and all of a sudden a little puppy starts seeming cute, or more appealing or something. So I remember I came down.
Like out of everything you could have been thinking about when you just thought like you thought about this puppy thing that your family wanted.
I think it was just a random thought that popped into my head, and then it seemed
You had a
not
bad trip.
terrible at the
You had
time.
a bad trip.
Bro, I came down and they were watching Love on the Spectrum. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Phenomenal show. Phenomenal. And imagine watching like Love on the Spectrum while you're still coming down from mushrooms. That might have been like the hardest I've ever laughed in my whole life. Like just I'm like you can take the best writers in the world and they could not write this show.
No.
And then somehow that led to getting a puppy like the next weekend.
Do you regret it? All good?
No, yeah, he's cool.
He's a good dog.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I met him. He's a cool little dude.
Yeah.
He was a little nervous when he met me.
He still is like, we just got to get him out to other dogs and dog parks and stuff.
I laid down in Eli's garage like a dog.
He actually really liked you.
Once I laid down,
Yeah.
I just laid down and put my head below his head.
Yeah.
He was all for it.
Yeah. Will's
Good
so
little dude.
funny. Yeah. He's like big ass Will, like literally laying on my garage floor of things, just so, like the
You just have
puppy
to
feels
submit to him.
comfortable
You have to get below him and you
Yeah.
got to submit to him and they do pretty well.
Yeah.
We got a puppy recently.
Did
I
you?
like a farm store. Somebody giving it away.
Oh gosh.
And they narrowed in on my wife.
Yeah.
And just like,
Yeah. She just
Smart.
screams, help her or
I'm
what?
like, okay, let's take it home. I took it back 10 days later.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? Just a bad dog?
No, it was just too much. We have a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 7-month-old. I was getting up in the middle of the night to potty train the dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for myself? No, I'm not
No.
doing this.
Yeah. And nobody was helping?
They just
Kind of, but you just can't,
but there's
right?
this other stuff to do.
It's like your wife's the only other one, but then she's
She's
got
got kiddos.
Yeah. Damn. Should have taken mushrooms.
Yeah.
So built this YouTube channel, decentralize it, right? Like,
Yep.
I know you want to talk a little bit today on like some mindset stuff, correct? I'm curious.
You're kind of hitting on it already.
I figured I was a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always fun when I talk to you because you always like today and ask like, hey, what do you want to talk about? Like, I don't know. What do you want? You got something? You're like, yeah. I go, why are you asking me? We
Yeah.
should just let you run it.
We have so many conversations throughout the week.
Yep.
That are completely unfiltered.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just stuff that doesn't get to the public.
Sure.
So sometimes you're preparing for a keynote or something. You're reaching out to me and Eli, and you're saying, "Hey, what have I said recently that resonates?" or things like that.
100%.
So I know that I hear those things differently than other people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also applying them different than a lot of people.
Totally.
So I see, maybe some of the application that other people are missing that they're just getting stuck on.
Mm.
But yeah, YouTube channel up to 13,000 subscribers now.
Nice.
We've done 130 deals from it.
It's great.
Yeah. And we're just finding more unique ways to leverage it.
How many years have you had your channel? 2?
4.
3? 4?
4 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Am I like running your math? I'm like measuring penises right now. So
Yeah.
mine's bigger.
My partner and I both hit icon from it this year.
Awesome.
That was cool.
Yeah. Way cool.
Yeah.
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 Just to have like a real scoreboard. Of
Yeah,
like,
'cause we've done that.
we're on that
Yeah.
scoreboard.
Yeah.
Both of us from this one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 32 deals a year.
Yeah.
On average.
Yeah.
It's great.
From one lead source.
How much does that lead source cost you?
Oh, I haven't spent a penny on it in years.
Crazy.
Somebody
right?
else pays for it. Yeah.
For the sponsorship, for doing all the editing. And I think
Yeah.
it's about $1,000 a month. So even if somebody was paying for it, like, what's your average price point?
Our average price point is $650 for our buyers. Our market's $450.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I pay our editor $850 a month. Partners pay me double that
That's awesome. That's
because they have a
great.
camera operator occasionally now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then Google pays me about $300 a month from AdSense.
Correct. So
Yeah,
like, you're well over $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
Average for commissions close on your channel.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Being new.
Being new.
Yeah, it's 3 years.
Yeah.
How much did you make your first year? A couple hundred?
I made like 100 my first year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the next year I made like 150, but I split it in half.
So you made 300.
Yeah.
The channel made
Oh, yeah.
300.
Easily.
It's great, dude.
This year so far, the channel's made about 600.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've still got another 7 or 8 pending right now
Mm-hmm.
for the year.
That's great. He can
Yeah.
start paying our bills. Sam's got it going on. He can just
That's
pay
right.
our bills.
Sam, I'm curious. I read there was a post from Layla Hermosi I read just before this
Yeah.
said 8 years ago we were eating 7-Eleven. We had $1,000 saved from 19 months worth of work.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
like, man, that kind of correlates with what I'm chatting about today, right?
Yeah.
You got a similar story or?
I've just seen people look at me and say, it must be nice.
Mm.
People move to
Mm.
Florida.
Yes, I've never had that. Or it's behind my back.
Or it's like you're good on camera. You're natural on camera. Or it's like,
No, I have
You're
had
good
a
at
couple
social
of must
media.
be nice. Yeah, I have had a
It's-
couple
it's that
military
same
guys.
thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
people are jealous of the outcome. They're never jealous of the journey.
Anytime. Yeah.
Anytime.
Mhm.
I heard that from Alex Ramosi. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
duh.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just very rarely that you hear somebody say it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People that are in it, like they know what it takes to get there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where it's the whole like looking at a dude who's in shape. If you're a dude that's in shape, it's
Yeah,
like, man, respect. You could be the biggest Jersey Shore fucking douchebag. And if you're shredded, there's a level of like, hey, respect, bro. Like
Yeah,
you fucking
yeah.
you put in work.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't care
Kinda.
how much stuff you take, but at least
Yeah.
like man, you're doing something right.
Right.
At least
Yeah.
there. You might be a fucking asshole, but least you're doing
Other
something.
people
right
look at
over
that like, I don't care how good you look. If you're a fucking asshole, I don't admire it at all.
Yeah.
there. Oh yeah. But you can tell like there's a work ethic there and stuff like that. And at least in that
Steroids, dude.
sense,
Come
in
on.
that sense, I do steroids. I don't fucking look like that.
Eli and I are gonna do a little fitness challenge together, right? Or
Are
something
we?
like a what do we do?
Nice.
I don't know, more like a support group, I think.
This is like-
Than a fitness
this is as far as the conversation's ever gone.
It's like a Weight Watchers support group.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I've brought it up like 7 times. Like,
Yeah.
hey, dude, let's do a thing. You know, like a thing,
Yeah.
like a fitness. You know, like a not a challenge, like a thing. Like let's
No.
do a thing. And he's like, yeah, like well, what kind of thing? And it's like, and then that was just the end of the conversation. It's been that at least 6 or 7 fucking times.
He's not
Dude,
giving it
right?
to you.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to fucking do it,
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
and I don't
Yeah.
want to do it if he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. it's
We're in
true.
pretty good shape. It's interesting to like use some of that. I'm curious about Alex Hermosi's phases of like business and just chapters of like when you're.
And seasons. He talks about seasons a lot.
Does he?
Yeah.
I'm curious about that because there's just times, man, that were like, it was really hard. Like I still went, but it was like really hard to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I hated it. It just like there was so much else going on that I was also enjoying because we were getting traction and there's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
momentum. And it's like, I would just catch myself on the phone in the parking lot at the gym on pre-workout,
Mhm.
happy as could be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just grinding deals or mergers or talking to someone and
Yeah.
like super productive shit. And it's like, why do I do that on the way to the
We
gym?
were talking about that recently, though. Like in different seasons, like the gym serves a different purpose.
Yeah.
Eli just all out quit one time.
Yeah. Current.
But you have seasons where you have goals. You have seasons where it's just a mental thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
No, it was a couple months ago. Or wasn't it like
Current.
No.
Still holding strong, Will.
No. You work out at home.
when was the last time?
I should be.
No, there was
last
a
week I
time-
worked out. I lifted weights one day last week. Yeah.
There was a time where you just didn't go for like 2 months.
I'm in it.
Are you?
Yeah.
I thought that was a couple months ago.
It was.
Still here.
There's just so much to do. Like, walk me through that.
There, man,
I mean, you're still lean. You're still disciplined. You're still lean. You're not a fat fuck. So like, there's like you're doing something.
yeah, it's just, I mean, man, like, I feel like so many other people, like, we have, like, fitness is massive, right? It sets up your day. I get all that stuff. But from 18 to 36 years old, that was number one. I
Yeah.
was the guy where it's like, no matter what, fucking getting that in. And then at about 36 years old, it was like, hey,
Okay,
bro,
so-
what if like business, like, hey, bro, get up at 5 a.m. still, get up at 5:30. And what if you got
Work.
2 extra hours of work instead of
That's what I'm
fucking-
curious about. It's like, where was that mental shift when it turned into like, okay, this is not the priority.
Yeah, I feel like it was just the
Necessity
mentality of, and so I kind of look at it like how serious I took getting in shape when I had a competition coming up, right?
Mhm.
Like that's the only time I ever had 6 packs if I had a competition. I think that was when like, man, our agent attraction was starting to do really well. We had really,
I only
real,
had one
like,
when I was a stripper.
like real big things we were like building.
True story.
And this was like the whole like, okay, now I feel like this is the competition side of like
Yeah.
business
Yeah, yeah.
now, to where then it was like, hey, I'll fuck off work because I need this fitness thing to work out. Right now it's like, hey, I'm taking this as seriously as you would a fitness competition or
Sure.
something. And it's like that extra 2 hours of work like does make a difference.
And it's just hard to
you
get to
know?
the gym for an hour.
No, I mean, I could do it. Like there's an hour, there's an hour in the day I could for sure do it.
Yeah.
Just not.
But
Yeah.
and you're just like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Sam, I'm curious though.
deflection.
Yeah, right. You've been coaching with Will for a while,
Yeah.
right now, and super consistent.
Poor guy.
Super consistently.
Anytime he pulls up his stripe, I'm just proud to be the number one spot.
Yeah.
I'm proud to show how much money Sam spends on coaching.
But man, I'm curious, and I've never asked you this before.
Yeah.
Like, biggest takeaways, biggest things you've learned about yourself,
Mhm.
and you're one of the guys too. Like, I've gotten to know you real well over the past couple years, I would say. But previous to that, when like Will said, you're going to start coaching with him, there was part of me that was like, I wonder how Sam's going to take that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how Sam's going to be able to like, apply that or handle it or,
Sure.
whatever. What are some of your biggest takeaways and lessons, things you've learned about yourself, things that you've implemented? and maybe like the person that you've turned into, like what are some changes that have occurred within you personally?
Sure. I think if your coach doesn't find a way to let you be yourself and like find your own pace, they're just not that good of a coach.
Sure.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, always pushing it, always seeing like what could be the catalyst, but it's still like he still wants me to be me.
Mhm.
That's a big part of it. But it's just all about me. That's the thing. Like with Will, the way he is in relationships, it's just not about him.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think that gets misunderstood quite a bit, and it can feel like a confrontation at times.
Sure.
But it's like, no, I'm just seeing like what's in there for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, like you call it a mirror. You call coaching a mirror.
Yeah,
I think, which is a cool way
I
to
love that
describe it.
analogy. Yeah,
Yeah, because I've never heard about it until you said that, and it was like, yeah, like I'm just a good coach. I'm just exposing to you like ailments,
Yep.
cracks, improve things that can be improved upon, or just things that you can't see unless I show it to you.
yeah.
And you know what I like about that analogy too is that the mirror doesn't lie.
It doesn't lie at all.
The
And
mirror
we
doesn't lie.
spent months defining what the mirror is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's test stuff. Let's go try that. Like, how'd that feel? Like all those kind of things.
Yeah, and there's still stuff he doesn't do, like social media. There's still stuff that he's like hasn't decided to do yet.
Mhm.
Like consistently or whatnot. Like he doesn't hear anything from me about. Like there's just Sam's a different style of guy that I coach. It's
Yeah.
way more metaphorical. It's
Mhm.
way more saying things in the form of a question so he can go answer it for himself.
Yeah.
The majority of people that I coach, even if they're high level, I'm calling plays.
Yeah. Yep.
Sam's more into the theory of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah. Have you
So
found
like, it's just a different way. It's a different coaching session.
Yeah.
have you found any, personality traits developed that maybe weren't there, like maybe a certain level of assertiveness or decision making?
Absolutely more assertiveness and more of an
He like
ability.
beats his kids now or what?
No, just dogs.
Yeah.
just dogs.
Just giving dogs
That's where
away.
it starts.
Yeah,
that's where it
fucking
starts.
quitter.
No, more of an ability, and I would call it like first principles thinking, like to boil things down faster.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's actually happening? What are the next 3 steps? So
Mm.
say with my partner Aaron, I'll listen to calls with expired listings or with clients, and I'm like, "Hey, you said 20 words before you made a point.
Mm.
Like, maybe try this."
Pause.
Mhm.
Decide on your point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then speak. And you found that out because he had to go out of town. And you're like, man, like I'm doing, I'm back into showings and stuff because he's on vacation, and I feel like I'm getting people under contract quicker than he is. I go, probably, because that's how I felt as well. I go,
Yeah.
but figure it out. Like go look, try, like figure out where he's at as far as like how many homes he's showing.
Yeah.
Before under contract, and you're at like 3, and he's at what, 12, 14. And it's like,
Yeah, it depends. I mean, depends what the people want to do. And it's like, well, maybe let's not make it depend on
but
what
the
they
whole
wanna do.
point
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like
Yeah.
seeing something there,
Yeah.
and then getting back into our systems and processes.
Yeah.
Buyer presentations, the different things that are said, how they're said, why they're said.
Yeah.
Are you fucking doing them? Are you not doing them? Like
Yeah.
all these things matter, because no different than hooking up a car to like a diagnostic system, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have if you don't have that machine, like that machine that plugs into that car to read things,
Yep.
if you don't have that machine for your business or for the processes that you have for like real estate for your business, how are you going to go back and figure out where someone needs to make improvements?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
You just won't. So I remember you talking about that. It was like, hey, just come back here and then figure out how we can make him convert better.
And it actually means a lot to him that I would go listen to a call and give
Yeah.
him like practical feedback.
Mhm.
But then it took a while to find that person that wanted the feedback.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Going back to earlier, like it took
Mhm.
testing a few people to see. Okay,
They just want to do their thing, bro.
yeah,
On your shit.
they just want to kind of launch into their own thing from my thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Welcome to business, man.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Welcome to business.
Yeah. What else?
What else? People call me and ask, "What do you think about coaching with Will? Should I do it?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, what are you working on? And like, how well can you handle some hard conversations? Like
Mhm.
somebody like actually holding you accountable to everything you say you want to do. Because that's hard.
It
And
is.
coming from someone like Will, it feels like very like asymmetrical at first. Like this guy's big, tatted up, Marine guy. Like learning how to navigate Will is kind of interesting. And what I learned is just stop talking.
Yep.
Just pause. Say,
Typically, it's people's own insecurities or their assumptions,
of
or
course, yeah.
in their own mind, like what they think I'm thinking of them.
Yep.
Or what they think how I'm going to react.
Yep.
There's times you think I'm going to chew your ass and then I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because I won't. It's just because it's like I'll give you some circumstances and or like based off of the totality of what's going on. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
And typically I don't. Depending on how like someone's punishing themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if you can tell someone's kind of like already given it to themselves.
Yeah,
all
which
I
I do.
Yeah. All I'm trying to find is like where people care. Like I'm trying to find like to the level in which someone cares about something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like if you really care about what you're doing or what you're trying to get, like you'll see that and like, well, they already care. So where can I implement some guidance and some support? They don't necessarily need a bruise.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then people that aren't seeing things, like sometimes you got to shake them a bit just to get them to pay attention to certain things.
Well, and like
to care.
I think like again, people need to feel the pain. People don't change until it's painful.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's like if you fucked something up with your business or didn't do what you said you were going to do, and you're not the type that, inflicts that pain on yourself of like, man, I fucked this up. I got to fix this, not to a point of detriment, but addressing what happened and making a change.
Yeah.
It's like, that's where I think you're an awesome coach is like, hey, motherfucker, if you're not feeling that pain enough to change, I'm going to make sure you feel that pain.
It's that, and then it's like complacency. And you see complacency. Complacency is more like, complacency is really dangerous when you're successful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were to figure out like if we were all to assume we could all go like run for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And the mission was, to just run as far as you can for 24 hours per se, right? Like, could you run the same pace every single mile, like, and just take that theory? Like, cool, stop for pee breaks and whatever, and a snack, and then you're back to running. But like, what about when you don't feel so good and you have to slow down or stop or walk?
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to take away from time? Yes. Cool. So then the opposite then. So what about when you feel good? Do you increase?
Yep.
And to somehow increasing, like not taking you out of your capacity.
Yeah.
Not increasing your pace so much that it will eventually allude to a stop or a walk because you went too hard. But could you increase when you have these moments of like good weather and you caught your second wind and like it's like cool. So what we should ride that pace.
Yeah. Yeah.
To kind of pay it forward for when we just don't have it in us, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of folks don't necessarily like have enough attention paying toward their business when things are going decently well.
Yeah.
Like when agents had 2% interest rates, when realtors were out here, right? Like the past couple of years has allowed a lot of like subpar agents to assume they were a lot better at this than they really were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is a reality.
Sure.
Whether they saw that coming or not, when you're doing great, why aren't you still finding time to just triple down on like, hey, I'm doing great. I could reinvest in my business.
Yeah.
I could reinvest into a plan. You got to utilize that momentum, right?
Absolutely.
Typically what I see with people is a straight pace and it's either good or it's not.
Yeah.
From like a coaching standpoint. Get to really good high level people, you'll see a different cadence, like you'll see a different pace. There's a different rhythm and sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's slower. Like, and the slower is okay. And I think that this is why Eli will kind of vouch for this. I'm so forgiving of myself. Like if something got me, if I done got and I just need a day, I'm going to just take a day and don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not beating myself up. I'm not upset about it. It's like I already understand that the stops or the walks are going to come. But because I handle like the good so well with momentum and tripling down on it, and him and I've never slowed down, we've sped up and leaned into our momentum. Yeah. I know there's going to be times where I just need a fucking day or a moment or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Zero fucking problem taking it, knowing that like I've already paid that in advance. Yeah. It's already okay to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but this is also where like if somebody needs it or they don't want to do certain things, it's like, it could be more than okay, depending on, but you'll start seeing high level thinkers when they've just got a great rhythm of progress in what they do, understanding that we're still gonna have these things that just, but like when people just run at this pace, consider that like paycheck to paycheck, 9 to 5, paycheck to paycheck, right? Okay. All right. We'll go at your pace. Okay. You're not going faster. You're not doing better than, like, you're doing good. We could be doing way better and using this good to make better, but we're not. Okay, so we're just going to, okay, so paycheck to paycheck then. This is your pace. Your time and energy and progress it's like, the second something happens, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And it's like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so like, this is where, like, when it comes to coaching and different stuff, it's like, there's some things they think I might be mad at, but I'm not. You know what I mean? But I really like seeing a different pace to people in different phases, depending on what we're doing. And you got to know when to turn it on.
Yeah.
Well, and there's stretches where I've hit a stride where every week I'm coming with stuff I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't, it's not like teacher to student. It's like, no, we're like growing this thing together.
Mm-hmm.
And I even had that like with gymnastics coaches. I'd show up to practice and I'm like, hey, can we help me work on this one thing?
Mm-hmm.
And they know that.
They know that.
That's called progression. If like, eventually at some point, come here, honey. Are you okay? Yeah. Okay, but for real, make your decisions. Stop smiling. Make your decisions. Okay. Be good. Be smart. Like, don't make me have a worry while you're gone. Okay. Do a good job. Okay. All right. I love you. And if you're not comfortable, text. Sure. Okay. Okay. I love you, honey.
Bye, Chloe.
She's got this retreat for school. They're like, stay the night. We'll talk about it.
Boy.
But getting back to your point, you know, as you progress in coaching, as a coach, I have my own pace with you, right?
Yeah.
And there's times like I'm leaning in and I'm just going to give and give and give and give and give and challenge and give and challenge and give. And then eventually things start coming in the fold. Like, and then when people start to like catch wind, like when your sales starts to catch wind, I have to let that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to take the wind out of it if I keep trying to come and give you something every single week. Once it catches wind, you got to know when to show up as a coach and go, what's on your mind? What do we got today?
Yeah.
And then letting student per se take lead. Because now I just want to see what you do with it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like now I was like, hey, he's formulating thought, he's formulating idea, sales catching wind. Cool. I'm gonna ride this dude's sale for a while and just kind of see. It allows me to see you perform predicated on your own ideas and thoughts versus just following mine. And there's an important phase of coaching that happens there, but the reality is you don't see a lot of coaching.
A lot of people don't get to that point too.
They don't get to that point. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's not a lot of coaches that even understand when something gets to that point. Right. They tend to like push against the person that they're coaching, trying to force them back into the bracketing of what they're structured to coach because that's the fucking coach that they are. It's like you're just a manager. Like you've been taught something in this framework of the 12 steps to success, and you know, and then like they're just, and it's like, hey man, that's not leadership. That's management, and people can show up and get their coffee, and you know, like no, like when it comes to leadership and development of people, you have to let that go. Right. And then I just need to know, like, as you're sailing, and I'm right, I need to know, like, okay, we're off course. Is he going to catch it? We'll see. Maybe not. And if you don't, then I'm just going to pull you back in on one of those weeks.
Absolutely.
Hey, cool. Or give you something to get focused with, or cool.
Or if I'm really engaged with it, I'm probably asking before it's gone very far.
100%.
You're like, maybe pull back this way.
And sometimes I just don't know yet. Sometimes it's like, hey, let's just kind of see where this goes. And it's led to some partnership with us, man. We all co-own Legit Agents now, which is our group of agents and the group coaching that we do. And there's some fun things. But that door opened because you were teaming up to partner with us with Ryan Pineda on our coaching.
Right.
You know, and it was like, this is just where it really starts to get dynamic.
Yeah.
It does.
100%.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that I really enjoy is when I get a like, cool, like you're building a boat and you got the fucking sails up and okay, we're getting out there and I'm pulling rope for you, and then like it catches some wind. That's where coaching kind of gets fun, but you just don't coach so many people that way. A lot of what I coach to is I'm calling plays.
Yeah.
It's nice when like you call plays for a bit and then you got a quarterback in there that's reading a defense and calling some audibles, and you're like, okay, now we're playing some fucking high level football.
Yeah.
Eli football.
Yeah.
Like the one where you throw the ball.
Throw the ball in the basket.
See how he does? He trolls us. Eli's he's above. Okay, he's too good for sports. He's above fucking sports. He's Jewish, right? Like, I'm curious if you guys ever talk.
Yeah,
like behind my back.
No,
about our lane stuff.
I don't mean like in a negative way.
A little bit.
Probably. Oh, negative? Let's hear it. Yeah, let's hear it.
No, not negative. More
See how I
like
got scared? For those
no,
who are
it's more like
watching it.
yeah. I think Will's overthinking that thing.
What?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it's negative. I'm just curious
No,
if you guys ever
that's more what it
sympathize.
is. Like together, we're like, yeah, let's try this. Will's
I
probably
like-
overthinking that.
Am I
thing.
like Big Brother?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
No.
If we talk, we'll talk frequently throughout the week, but it's usually like our
And you guys
lane
think I'm
stuff
You
of like
think I'm overthinking things?
techie.
No, and that came up with like some YouTube.
See, now
thing
he's going to
recently.
overthink it.
I know.
No. Just use it. No. I'm
Yeah,
trying to get an
what-
example for the audience.
What was
trying to think of what it was.
that? I think he literally said that one time.
But now I got proved wrong because that guy that is growing YouTube that way is like, don't do it this way.
yeah,
So now Will's right.
was it about
That's
the?
exactly what I was fucking getting at.
yeah, right.
Thanks, Sam.
yeah. But no, I think, man, if anything, I think we're just around for a lot of the same conversations.
You
Yeah.
guys get shiny object syndrome,
Yeah.
which is needed because being innovative and different and all good.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit more of a traditionalist, not unable to change or something like that. Not at all, but like it's got to be like the fucking cop in me. When I'm getting people's pitches, you guys
Yeah.
might know more about the technicalities of what they're talking about, and I'm just reading them
Yeah. Yep.
and the the pitch that they're giving
Which
me.
is good. And it's helped me a lot not have shiny object syndrome because now I do look at things.
It's just a
lot more
hybrid of like,
that.
hey,
Yeah.
I just want to analyze this person first, you
Yeah.
know, like. And what Sam is talking about, he's like, we were talking about that YouTube guy first, and he's like, yeah, I like him. I think he's a good guy. I like the guy. I was like, cool. You know, I can't remember what I said, but just planted a seed there.
Mhm.
And then you started calling all the references that he had mentioned,
Yeah.
probably assuming that like you wouldn't, and you did. And then just some more comes where it's like, oh, hey, man, maybe that's just not the right play for the way that we do
Yeah.
YouTube,
Yeah.
Right.
for the evening style, et cetera, et cetera. And like, for me, it's that. It's like, just like, you guys are going to know more technical. I'm just going to be able to read the person and just like you guys got to imagine like how many thousands of calls I've been on.
Yeah.
People think it's like, yeah, but those are like bad guys or gang members. Like, no. I talk to kids. I talk to teenagers. I talk to adults, like verbal domestics, physical domestics,
Yeah.
fraud cases. Like, there are plenty of adults that pitch you or tell you a story the same. Like, and I can tell. I can tell when somebody's like telling me the pitch or the story, and it's a story that they've been telling themselves for a long
They
time.
believe it sometimes.
Oh, not sometimes. They believe it.
Yeah.
But it's a story that they've been telling themselves and telling others,
Yeah.
creating this thing.
Yeah.
And I can tell when it's that versus if you are organically answering my questions.
Yep.
Because there's just certain ways I ask questions. Not that they're like completely off the wall, but they're different than how most people ask questions.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for certain things that are outside of the box with how I frame questions
Mm-hmm.
and then the type of response it gets. And I'm doing that because there's a way to answer that.
Yeah.
And then I'll see deflection. It's like not on purpose or to deceive me. They just don't have an answer for it.
Totally.
And they go somehow they get back into their pitch. They get back into their story.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, a telltale sign of that is when people name drop a lot.
Yeah.
If they keep using someone's name,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what that guy was doing.
Yeah.
I could see it.
He kept using. It's like stop saying Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, we did this thing with Matt Damon, and then hey, Matt Damon was and then a month later, after Matt Damon got back, Matt Damon came over here. And it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's just certain little things where you'll start getting it. It's like
Yeah.
the way they construct thought
Mhm.
around fabrication. It will come off disingenuous.
Yeah.
And then there's just a certain way that like in police world we call this like verbal judo.
Yeah.
There's just a way to listen. I also just think I'm good at it. But there's a way to ask questions. And like what I really like about it is as big and upfront as I am.
Yeah.
Maybe I like look dumb. I don't know. Or maybe in any other arena, like because I'm just a bigger, more physical guy. Fine. What's really cool about great conversationalists is like you don't even know when someone's like ninjaing your brain
Yeah. Totally.
because you don't know what you don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
regular questions framed a certain way. And if somebody passes over what I'm asking, and if it's like a specific question, I don't let them, like they'll pass over it and I'll let them pass over. I don't let them not answer the question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Totally.
So
Yeah,
if their thing doesn't answer my question, I'm like, hey,
you'll
nope,
come back.
I got
to
it, man.
Yeah.
And Sam will attest this. He's heard this before. Like, dude, it could be my dumb brain. Like I'm not as smart as you guys, but specifically though, like what I'm trying to identify here is this. Do you know where you observed it? The escrow shit in California.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I see you do that all the time. Yeah.
Right. It's that stuff, you know, and like she wasn't like a hard one to pick up.
Yeah.
But her reassessing her business every month to say, oh yeah, I know, hey, you guys can buy in, but like next month it would just be a different number. Oh, we'll just keep bringing you our escrows that give you a higher valuation. So I'm gonna have to buy it for more expensive because of the fucking business I'm bringing. You're just fucking stupid. But I didn't say that. But for the other people in the room, because here's the deal: when Eli and I are making business mergers or whatever we're doing, right? There was 2 other VPs in that room, and there was another lady in that room that we were all going to contribute to this escrow company.
Yeah.
If I just give my opinion, it's me versus them. That's just how business tends to go sometimes, right? Because we're all going to have our opinion, and then we have to explain it. If I can ask certain questions, and force people to be in a certain position, they're now going to get exposed to everybody,
right? Which
allows me to see how that goes. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Then everybody sees the bullshit a little bit.
100%.
Yeah.
I got to get out of here, guys.
Oh shit!
I know. That was a 45-minute podcast already.
Nice.
Fuck, we could go for hours.
What the hell?
Yeah, but Sam, the bottom line is is like, hey, when it comes to coaching and influence in your pursuit of being better at business, being better at yourself, like there's an intellectual side and there's just a mental side that you've got to strengthen. Like you can't just always go showing your cards, not because someone's going to deceive you or rob you, or it's like you just have to like be a better vehicle as you continue to increase, right? You just have to force yourself to make smart decisions. Because here's the deal: as you grow in business, everything looks like a good deal.
Yeah.
Everything does. And these people I'm talking about that we had meetings with, they're smart people and they talk really well.
Yeah.
Which means as you grow, the biggest danger is you could walk yourself right into going fucking bankrupt because someone that's smart at talking and says the right things and you're oblivious because you're just new being a big deal and now someone's going to take from you. It could put you out of fucking business because you just were too casual about saying yes to something. So just realize as you increase your level in business, you're getting higher level. It's higher level everything. Higher level fucking wolves. Higher level fucking snakes.
Yeah.
It's the same shit, man. They're just at a higher level. So the snakes and the predators and the fucking charlatans that want to sell you some shit, they're all better at what they do. And if you think they're just, like this is a great deal because they're just great at saying, it's like, hey man, that's exactly what could set you up for disaster, and everything that you've worked hard to gain to where you're at, you could lose it all.
Yeah,
totally.
So you just have to understand, like you're still playing chess, right?
You are.
You're just playing against better players.
I appreciate you coming out,
Sam,
bro.
Yeah,
love you, buddy. Glad
I
you're
got to
here.
do this more.
Eli's going on a listing appointment. You and I can fuck off and hang out.
Sweet. Play some GTA. Smoke some weed.
Not without you.
Thank you.
Right on. Until next time, we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Day $1.0.
We're out of here.
Whiskey on the tongue and some long cut. I'ma slip it on down and turn it up. Southbound and we're trailblazing, but and the posse dirty, filthy like a spit cut. Dropping bombs at the gate, bringing big guns. Raw records be the steak, we the A1. Speak up and we know where we came from. Welcome to the posse, let me hear your long cut.